everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna. This is Coffee, Books, and Bullet Journals, and it is time to talk to you about my Vaultathon TBR. Okay, you're probably gonna have to excuse some of the noise. There are dogs in here. It's chaos right now. I'm sorry. But it is time to talk about Vaultathon. Vaultathon is a readathon that was created by Margaret at the Word Nerd, and it is basically to celebrate some of the underhyped Disney movies that just don't get as much love as they deserve. And it is round 5. And this time we are doing Meet the Robinsons, which I have not watched in so long, so I'm really excited to do that. Was one of the co-hosts for the very first round of Vaultathon last year, and then really just haven't been able to participate in it since then. So I'm really excited to be able to participate, and I was asked to be a co-host again. So along with Margaret, obviously, who created the whole thing, and myself, we have Christine from The Other Christine That Reads, and Bree from Bree Barrett McKay, who are going to be hosting. The readathon takes place from September 21st to 27th, so yes, it is just a couple of days away. I realize I'm not giving you a ton of time for this. That's okay. I have come prepared, because not only am I going to be talking about what books I'm going to be reading, I'm going to give you guys some recommendations for books that you could read that fit these prompts. I think that's most of the housekeeping out of the way, so let's go ahead and talk about it. The really cool thing about this readathon, it is very, very low key. So Margaret chose a group book for this, and it kind of goes along and plays on the same themes as the movie, I'm assuming. I don't know, I haven't read the book yet, so we'll see. But the awesome thing about it is the group book fits all of the challenges. So you could read the group book and win the readathon, which is really cool. For the group book, we will be reading Saving Lucas Biggs by Marissa de los Santos and David Teague. So this is a middle grade book about a girl who's from a family of time travelers, and they're not really supposed to time travel. I think her father is wrongfully convicted, and so she decides that even though she's not supposed to go back in time, she's going to go back in time to when the judge was a child and, like, make him a better person. Something like that. I feel like it's going to be really, really good. So this will fulfill all of the prompts. So if you would like to participate and just want to read one book, it's awesome. So we will be doing a watch along. I don't remember the hashtag, but I'll put it right down here because I'll look it up in editing. It's fine. I'm so chaotic today. But we'll be doing a watch along of Meet the Robinsons on Saturday the 26th. I don't remember the time, but all of the information and Margaret's videos will be down in the description below, so you'll can get it from the source. And then on Sunday, we will be doing the 27th, we will be doing a live show talking about the movie and then also the book and comparing the two. So really excited to pick this up. I haven't heard a ton about it. Sorry, the ring light's picking it up really bad. But I am really excited to read it. However, I am me, and I'm an overachiever. So there are 4 reading prompts, and I'm going to choose 4 books, because why not? But I will also be talking about some recommendations for books that you could read for these prompts in case you've already read this book, you want to pick a new one, you want to be like me and have 4 other books. It's fine. I've got you covered. The first reading prompt is the Robinson family, and that is to read a book with a family that is special. Obviously, the group book could work for that because they are a family of time travelers, so that would work. But also, I'm going to be reading The House on the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. This is my group book for the Literary Alliance, and we're supposed to be reading it this month, and I haven't started it yet, so I kind of tried to fit it into this readathon, for reasons. This is more of a found family because this is about a man who has this school for magical youth, which I would consider special. I'm a big fan of found family, so I might be stretching it a little bit, but I am really excited to pick this one up. Everyone has been talking about it on BookTube, and it's definitely one that piqued my interest and I know is going to be a favorite. For some recommendations, I have several here. because I kept just finding them on my shelves. And a few of them I haven't talked about on my channel in a long time. So the first one is The Immortalist by Chloe Benjamin. This is about 4 siblings who find out the date of their death from like this fortune teller. And so it's kind of this like leading up to the moment of their death and how they live their lives based on the fact that like they know when they're going to die. So very, very interesting, and it's got a pretty good social commentary in it as well. The next one I pretty recently read. I didn't love it, but it was a kind of a personal thing, and I know that a lot of people would love it, and that is The Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu. This is a historical fantasy about 2 siblings, one of them being Mozart, and one of them being, you know, his sister, who is also very good at composing and playing music and things like that, but because she's a woman, she doesn't get to do those things. So she creates this like fairy land where she goes off and has adventures and things like that. It was a 3-star book for me, but it was just because I was really fantasied out at the moment, and I could see how a lot of people would really like this book. The next one is definitely a recent favorite, and that is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is about 2 sisters who discover that they are sisters after their father was in a plane crash and died, but they didn't know that the other one existed because the man basically had 2 families, and it's a lot about coming together and, you know, discovering the family that you didn't know you had. So this is really, really good. It's also done in verse, so it'd be a really, really quick read for a readathon. This is The Book of Essie by Megan McLean Ware. This is about a family who's kind of like the Duggars, and they have this religious reality TV show. And then one of the girls gets pregnant as a teenager, and they have to kind of figure out how to juggle that while still trying to like maintain their religious ways and things like that. It was actually really interesting. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but it's been a few years since I've read it. And then the last one also might be a little bit of a stretch, but it is a family, so I'm calling it. Home Before Dark by Riley Sager is a thriller about this woman who inherits this house that her father had written a book about. He had written this not true crime, but like true paranormal book that all of these things had happened. She doesn't remember anything that had happened in that book. She doesn't know if it's real, so it's all about investigating that. This is a fantastic thriller, and I highly recommend everyone read it. Unless you have a very, very big fear of snakes, skip that chapter. I can't remember which one it is, though. But yeah, snakes falling from roofs creep me out a little bit. The next prompt is The Future Is Here. Read a book about a character that has time traveled to the past. For that, I will be reading In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. This is a little bit of a stretch, but I do want to read this. This is a kind of Groundhog Day romance. It is a Christmas romance, which like I'm ready to get in the mood for that. And it is about this. I'm not sure like the specifics of it, but basically she is on a flight back to Salt Lake City for Christmas. She's going to be spending time with family, something, I don't know. And then somehow it's like something happens, and then she's like transported back to the plane the day before. I don't know the logistics of it. I kind of want to go into it blind. And I'm hesitant because I haven't liked the last few Christina Lauren books, but this one has promise, so I'm excited. So I haven't read a whole lot of time travel books or things that involve time travel, so I don't have a ton of recommendations for you. But the one that popped out into my mind was The Girl from Everywhere by I'll put the author's name there because I don't remember who it was. But this is about this girl whose father has this like time ship, essentially, and as long as he has a map, he can go to the, like, wherever, anytime, any place. He needs to go to, like, the time and place where she was born, and it's one of those things where, like, he might mess up history, and she would never be born. So, it was really, really interesting. Like I said, it has been a couple of years. I read it for, like, the very first Buzzwordathon, I think, so way back when. Sorry if the angle changed, but I knocked my tripod over. The next prompt is Captain Time Travel, and that is to read a book where the main character teams up with a friend. For this is where I'm going to be plugging in the group book and reading Saving Lucas Biggs, because she employs the help of her best friend Charlie and her grandpa. For the recommendations, I have quite a few. I mean, I could pull quite a few because that's a pretty vague prompt and it could fit for a variety of things. So I try to pick like different genres and we'll just go from there. So first we have another middle grade, City of Ghost by Victoria Schwab, or the companion, which is, or the sequel, which is Tunnel of Bones. She has a ghost best friend and they go on adventures, and this is the most adorable middle grade fantasy paranormal series that I've read in a really long time. Not that I've read a whole bunch of them, but you know, it's good. The next one is an adult fantasy, and that is The Library of the Unwritten by A.J. Hackworth. This is about the curator of the Library of the Unwritten in Hell. And she has to team up with Amuse, the hero of a story, and a literal demon to try to retrieve the Devil's Bible and save the world. The next one is an adult romance, and it might be stretching a little bit, but this is just to show you that you could read literally any genre and fit these prompts. And that is Head Over Heels by Hannah Orenstein. This is kind of a second chance romance where the two main characters come together. They meet each other after several years, and but the thing that draws them to them is that they are coaching an Olympic level athlete, and so they kind of have to team up together because, you know, they're coaching this athlete together. So that's why I'm picking it for this one. And the last one is a book that I just recently read and loved, and that is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. This is about a girl who finds this statue in the middle of New York and teams up with her friends and ends up going like viral because they make a YouTube video of it, and it kind of changes their lives. So this is really good. The final reading prompt is Mini Doris, and that is to read a book under 300 pages. For that, I will be reading George by Alex Gino. This is actually going to be an interesting one because I'm only reading it on Sunday because that's where Banned Books Week start. And that's what this prompt was, to read banned books. So I will be reading this on the last day of the readathon, and we'll just see how it goes. I mean, it's short. I think the audiobook is like 3 hours long, so I'm not worried about it. Now, there are a few that would kind of double this prompt. Obviously, the group book fits this. I think it's like at 276 pages. City of Ghosts is 285, so that would work as well. Another series that you could, you know, pick from that would be, that's around 200 pages, like average, the Wayward Children series, so Every Hearted Doorway, Down Among the Sticks and Bones. They're all novellas that are these like fantasy portal worlds that build on themselves. There are 2 more prompts that are not reading related. I don't remember what they are exactly called. I have the Twitter for Vaultathon, and that's like the pinned tweet. But one of the prompts was to document your week or document the readathon. I'm going to be doing a weekly vlog for it, so that counts. And then the other one is to read about fat phobia in the media, and this is basically just trying to expand your knowledge, and instead of just, you know, watching a Disney movie and talking about a book, we're actually going out into the real world and talking about these issues that interact or influence our daily lives. So there is a pinned tweet that has a bunch of resources on it, and I will go through that and try to find something. I don't know what yet, but we'll find something. Okay, so that was my chaotic mess of a TBR and some recommendations for you. Let me know down in the comments below if you're going to be participating in Vaultathon, and if you have watched Meet the Robinsons before. So thank you all for watching. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, there is a little red button that you can do so down below the video, and all of the other links to my social media will be in the description below if you would like to be my friend on any other platform. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Makes this heart beat faster.